Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss how we lead our lives into desperation and unhappiness by holding too tight to materials. The desperation of life often manifests when we cling too tightly to material possessions, holding on to them as if they define our worth and identity. In our consumer-driven society, it's easy to equate material wealth with happiness and success, leading us to accumulate more and more in never-ending pursuit of fulfillment. But the truth is that material possessions are fleeting and impermanent. They may bring temporary pleasure or comfort, but they can never satisfy the deeper yearning of the soul. And when we cling too tightly to them, we will invest our sense of self-worth in what we own rather than who we are. We inevitably find ourselves trapped in the cycle of desperation and discontent. This desperation manifests in various ways. We may become consumed by a constant craving for more, always chasing the next shining object in the futile attempt to fill the void within us. We may feel a sense of anxiety and insecurity, fearing loss or scarcity, and hoarding our possessions out of fear or not having enough. We may even resort to unethical or harmful behavior to acquire more wealth, sacrificing our values and integrity in the process. But no matter how much we accumulate, no matter how tightly we cling to our possessions, the emptiness remains. We may find ourselves surrounded by wealth and yet still feel impoverished in spirit, longing for something deeper, something more meaningful. In holding too tightly to material possessions, we also block the flow of abundance in our lives. By clinging to what we have, we close ourselves off to new opportunities, new experiences, and new connections. We become stagnant, unable to grow and evolve beyond the confines of our possessions. To break free from this desperation, we must learn to let go. We must loosen our grip on material possessions and cultivate a mindset of abundance and gratitude. We must recognize that true wealth lies not in what we own, but in our relationships, our experiences, and our sense of purpose and fulfillment. Letting go of material attachments is not easy. It requires courage, humility, and the willingness to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. But in doing so, we open ourselves up to a world of infinite possibilities, where happiness is not measured by what we have, but by who we are and how we choose to live in our lives. So let us release the grip of desperation and embrace the freedom that comes from letting go. Let us cultivate a sense of inner richness that transcends material wealth, finding joy and fulfillment in the simple moments of life. And let's remember that true abundance is not found in what we possess, but in love, laughter, and connections that enrich our lives every day. I want to read to you this story which holds the moral meaning of letting go. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a wealthy merchant named Manny. Manny was known far and wide for his vast fortune and extravagant lifestyle. His mansion was filled with treasures of gold and jewels. And he spent his days surrounded with luxury and opulence. Despite his wealth, Manny found himself increasingly restless and discontent. He was always searching for the next big deal, the next acquisition, and would bring him even greater riches. But no matter how much he accumulated, he could never shake the feeling of emptiness that gnawed at his soul. One day, he received a word of a rare and valuable diamond that had been discovered deep in the heart of the jungle. Determined to add it to his collection, he set out the perilous journey accompanied by a team of guides and porters. After days of arduous trekking through dense forests and treacherous terrain, they finally reached the site where the diamond was said to be located. But when they arrived, they found that diamond was guarded by a ferocious tiger, its eyes gleaming with menace. Undeterred by danger, Manny ordered his men to capture the diamond at any cost. In the ensuing struggle, several of his men were injured, died, and Manny himself narrowly escaped with his life. But despite their efforts, they were unable to lay hands on the coveted diamond. Defeated and depleted, Manny returned home. His dreams of wealth and glory shattered. But in his moment, he realized that his relentless pursuit of material possessions had brought him nothing but suffering and strife. With a heavy heart, Manny decided to change his ways. He began to let go of his attachment to wealth and possessions, focusing instead on cultivating a deeper sense and inner peace and contentment. He donated his riches to those in need, using his wealth to build schools, hospitals, and shelters for the less fortunate. As he embraced a simpler way of life, Manny found a newfound sense of joy and fulfillment. He discovered that true wealth lay not in what he owned, but in the love and compassion he shared with others. And in letting go of his material attachments, he found the freedom to live a life of meaning and purpose. The moral of this story is that true happiness cannot be found in accumulation of wealth and possessions. It comes from letting go of our attachment to material things and embracing a deeper, more meaningful way of life